Lovelies, you're welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Let's get into Love and Marriage DC episode 2. So, quick apologies for not putting something out earlier this week. It was such a manic week. I was so tired. I just could not make out time, but I'm making up for it today and this weekend. So expect a lot of content this weekend. If you still haven't subscribed, please click on the subscribe button and tap that bell for notification so you know every single time that I post. Let's get into today's video. So I wanted us to have a quick chat about my key takeaways from this episode. So first things first, the first thing I noticed was the way Jamie Sr. came at Jamie Jr. in the hallway. First of all, Jamie Jr. looks like he was having a meltdown. He was crying, he was shaking, visibly disturbed, and his father comes over and he's raving and ranking and shouting. Like, it is not working. If you've been doing something constantly and it's not working, at what point do you say, okay, this isn't working, let me change my strategy, let me change my approach? It just feels like Jamie Sr. is constantly coming at Jamie Jr. In the same way, and it is not working. If it's not working, then you have to change it. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. It's like you keep coming at this boy in a certain way, thinking that maybe the more you're abusive towards him, the more he's going to want better for himself. Don't get me wrong. I think Jamie Jr. is entitled. He's a brat. He has been spoiled. I completely agree with that. However, Jamie Sr., I think, is abusive. You cannot come at someone in that way and be surprised that they have a reaction that is negative. Like, I don't understand. If someone came at me rah-rah like that, best believe I will be matching that energy. I don't care who you are. Honestly, it would take so much to not get hella disrespectful in that way. I think it is obvious that Jamie Jr. is in pain. He's going through a lot. His mental health is suffering. They need to have professional help. That is what I think. So moving on to Winter being in the studio and talking about doing a song called Gutter Barbies. To be honest, I really liked the song she did previously, which was Sign My Papers or something like that. I'm like, yes, girl, you better get him to sign those papers. That was fun. So if Gutter Barbies is anything like that, I think it would be fun as well. So although I wasn't quite feeling what I was hearing in the studio, but you know, to each his own. I feel like it could hopefully gets better. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. The highlights of the studio session for me was when Sherelle was asking her what the song meant, and she was talking about how the song was basically about Irena and Ashley, who she called Gutter Barbies and stuff. And of course, Sherelle was basically saying that she was going to be going over to Ashley's event and she's going to have to tell her about the song. If I'm being honest, I totally respect that. If you're going to go and be the bone carrier, at least give the person a heads up that, yo, I'm going to have to tell her. I cannot sit down on this information and go to her event and smile, knowing fully well that you're making a song about her. Like, that's just not going to fly. So I respect Sherelle actually just coming out straight and saying, sis, there is a song about you and Irena, you know? So I appreciate that. And I think it's good that she gave Winter some heads up so Winter would know that that's happening. Like, for me, I didn't appreciate how Monique was moving last season, which was being the bone carrier, carrying information without letting the other person know, or the person know, oh, I'm going to be telling the other person this information that you have told me. So yeah, I appreciate Sherelle. It's like, girl, if you're going to be a bone carrier, at least give them people some heads up. I'm curious, like, what did you guys think about that? Like, would you, if you were in Sherelle's position, would you have gone over to Ashley's event and told her about the Gutter Barbie song? Also, would you have given Winter heads up about that? So moving on from that, Jamie Sr. and Irena were having a conversation about little Jamie, and she was expressing her concerns about how, you know, he's going through a lot and she doesn't want him to hurt himself. And that's something that she worries about. And I completely understand because that boy is going through a lot. So that tough love Jamie Sr. is trying to give him is not going to cut it. Normally, Irena tends to be passive when it comes to this whole Irena, Jamie, little Jamie, and Jamie Senior, right? But I love how she basically expressed to Jamie that he can't be yelling at little Jamie all the time. I completely agree. You can't be yelling at someone all the time. One day they might snap. What if little Jamie snaps, God forbid, and kills his dad? Like, you can't be doing them things. You already know that this child is not responding to you yelling. Why do you keep doing it? And I love that she also suggested a professional, because I think there are a lot of issues there. I think there is a lot to unpack about little Jamie's childhood that is making him react in the way he is reacting towards his father. I think like that's something that they really need to get to the bottom of, because like it's super crazy. Like, I've never seen that level of volatileness between father and a son, especially so in a two-parent household, and in a family where it's not like they're suffering, it's not like they're broke. Do you know what I mean? So usually you tend to see that level of rage and anger where, you know, the children grew up poor and so many other and grew up with so many traumatic things happen to them. So I feel like there might be other things that happen to little Jamie that the parents are not aware of, and he secretly blames his dad for it or something. But I feel like there are a lot of things that need to be unpacked about their relationship, because the anger on both sides does not make sense. That said, you can already tell that Jamie Sr. is predisposed to a lot of anger. And I say that because last season we saw how he was speaking to his wife. We saw his interaction with his wife last season. Because a lot of people came for him last season, I think he's why he has calmed down quite a bit towards his wife. But when it comes to little Jamie, that rara vibe is still there and gets to go. It's not conducive. Like, how dare you have that such rara energy for your kid? Like, what did the kid do to you? Even if the kid wants to waste his life, it is his life to live. Yes, you would be upset. Yes, you would be sad. Yes, you may be really, really bothered by it as a parent. But the way to go about it is not that level of rah-rah energy. It's not going to fix anything. I also love the fact that Irena actually said that they need to speak to someone who is independent of both little Jamie and Jamie Senior, just to make sure they can get to the bottom of it. I love how she suggested getting professional help, because I feel like they need professional help. You can't be going to go and tell your friends information about little Jamie and expect that your friends are going to be on little Jamie's side. They're probably going to be on your side. They're going to see from your perspective, because they're only hearing one perspective anyway. So they're most likely going to see from your perspective as opposed to what is happening in reality. And when Irena basically said that this is probably bigger than what Jamie Sr. thinks, I completely agreed. And I still agree about that. I think it is something where there are deep-rooted issues there which need to be unpacked in a safe environment. At least if it is in a professional environment with a therapist or psychologist, even if Jamie Sr. is coming with that rah-rah energy, the therapist will get him under control. Like, bro, you can't be coming with that rah-rah energy in my office. You need to tone it down. It's not helpful to have these conversations. It needs to be a safe space. The way I'm looking at it, from what I'm observing, it looks like there's so much rah-rah energy. And little Jamie is struggling. That boy is on a brink of a breakdown. And I'm like, they should support him instead of being upset that he hasn't reached out in days. If someone hasn't reached out in days, people react to news differently. Just because he hasn't reached out to you in days, what's stopping you as a parent from saying, okay, I haven't heard from my son in days. He's probably upset about what has happened. Let me message him to check in. No, but you're upset that he's not reaching out to you in days. Like, people deal with things differently. So you cannot be upset at someone because of how they choose to deal with their issues, because it is different from you. So another thing, moving on, was when Ashley and her bestie decided to get tattoos. They this was what got me. So Alicia, a friend, was basically saying that, yeah, referring to the girls as honest girls, they say their mind. I'm like, there's a way to say your mind, but you guys really come across as rude and mean most times. So it's like there's a way to say it, but you guys have no filter. You guys don't care to have a filter. And it's not about honesty, because if I'm thinking about honesty, I generally think I'm an honest person, but no one will come to you and say I'm brutally honest, or I'm giving gutter babby effect or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just honesty. There's a way to say things. Just because you're honest does not mean you have to be like brutal, or you have to be mean with it. There's a way to be honest that does not involve you being mean or bitter or all of that stuff that these girls are exhibiting. But anyway. So moving over to Joy and Irena. So Joy came over to Irena's house and was saying that Irena is practically like family to her, and they met like a year ago or whatnot. And what was clear from the interaction was Joy did not really appreciate the way they were questioning why. So the way Irena and Alicia were questioning why she was speaking at a single mother's event. I understand both sides. I just think that the way Ashley and her bestie said or brought up the conversation could have done with a lot more tact. They did not bring it in the right way. And so, of course, it wasn't received in the right way. So I understand Joy's point about like not necessarily wanting to raise it at this stage. It's like, okay, let it slide for now. And then if it is a pattern, if it happens again, then of course you can address it. And I say that because the truth of the matter is, if I put myself in Joy's situation, you're just meeting a couple of girls, you don't know them like that. You've hung out with them, it's a good time. And then the first time they do something to you that comes across as negative, you're like, okay, maybe it was just in that moment. Let me not think too much about it. Let me just sort of see how it goes, really. Because you'll probably be thinking, oh, perhaps it's a one-off. Perhaps it is a, one-off and never happen again. But on the flip side of that is that usually when you don't address something there and then, it will most likely happen again. And when it happens again, instead of addressing it in a calm manner, you will probably go off, and then it turns into something that is bigger than it needs to be. So it is something where you could have just had a conversation there and then said, girls, you guys, why are you coming for me today? Like, I don't appreciate that. And then they could explain how they're feeling in that moment. And you can say, this is how I'm feeling. I don't appreciate that. I was asked to speak. They just happen to be single women or whatnot, but I'm speaking to them about my journey in Ready to Love. Of course, I can speak to like different audiences. I'm not going to relate to certain or some of their experiences, but at least I can tell them what my experiences are, and they can pick whatever they can from there. That would have just been the end of it. But her not addressing it, I suspect that she's going to blow up on Ashley and Alicia in the future, and then everyone will now be wondering like, oh, why is she so upset? Because that is what happens when you don't address things when they happen. So moving on, Ashley was having a pink party. So pink themed party. Everyone was meant to wear pink. I don't know what it was. I don't know if the camera resolution wasn't great, but it was very much giving ghetto vibes. I wasn't feeling it at all. It looked very under budget, and it wasn't giving what it was meant to give. Is it just me? Let me know in the comment section below. Like, did you think the pink party was giving ghetto, or is it just me that wasn't feeling the vibes? I didn't like the outfits. I didn't like the hair. I'm like, guys, pink is a beautiful color. And so for you guys to come looking ratchet as hell, like, I don't know what that was about, and I wasn't here for it. But let me know in the comment section below if it's just me or if you guys agree with me about that. So anyways, Ashley and Irena, sounds like they made some money off Gutter Barbie's merch, which is interesting because Winter should be the one making money off that merch because she was the one that gave you guys that name. She coined that term. So she should be the one making merch called Gutter Barbies. And absolutely, she should go ahead and make that merch as well if she hasn't already. And, like, they shouldn't be able to be like making money off that. Or if they want to make money off that, you should be able to make money off that as well, Winter. So initially, when I was thinking about the whole Gutter Barbie song, I was like, girl, Winter, you are looking for trouble, blah, blah, blah. But then when I realized that Irena and Ashley capitalized off Gutter Barbies. So yes, the person who coined the term, the person who said the term, who called you guys that, should also be able to capitalize on that. It doesn't make sense that she cannot capitalize on what she called you, but you guys can capitalize on being called that. It doesn't make any sense. So Winter, do your song and make sure it bangs. Initially, I wasn't here for it, but girl, if you guys can make your merch, I can make a song about it, and that's that. So that's how I feel about that. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys disagree with me. What I didn't appreciate, though, was when Sherelle was trying to pull them to the side, Ashley to the side to talk about it. Ashley was sort of saying in her confessionals about how Sherelle was trying to cover her face because her husband wrote the song, all of that. I didn't think that was necessary. I didn't think that was necessarily what Sherelle was trying to do. I think Sherelle was just like, me and Ashley are getting close. I like Ashley. If someone is coming to me or saying something about wanting to make this song or whatever song about my friend, I will go ahead and tell them. I would be like, girl, I was in the studio today and I found out that this is happening, or you guys, sorry, I just found out now, and I thought, let me let you know. I don't want you to hear it from the streets. Hear it from me first because I heard it, and that's that. So that's how I feel about that, to be honest. And then finally, the last scene was when Irena decided to have a conversation with Winter, and Irena was giving Winter the smoke. I mean, like, first of all, she came in all black. Wasn't that interesting? And then Winter came in all white. And I'm like, girl, it's like you guys. So Winter is like, I'm coming subconsciously. Winter was probably thinking, I'm coming with good vibes. I hope she hears me. I hope she sees what I'm trying to tell her. And then Irena is coming in black. She's like, I want all the smoke. I'm coming to confront you. Sometimes when we choose colors because of the state of our minds and our subconscious. And I think that's what happened in that scene. So anyways, Irena came all, ready for the smoke and whatnot. Starts having a conversation with Winter. Winter is trying to explain that, someone came with some receipts to her. And she wanted to show Irena because she just felt like that's something that she should know, because if someone was out here talking about her child and it sounds like insider information, then I want you to look into your circle and whatnot. So Irena, of course, initially said, okay, we were cool until you went on Carlos King's show and was insinuating that myself and my husband were cheating, right? And I'm like, okay, fair enough. Like, Irena has a legitimate reason to be upset. I can't think you're cool with me and then you're on another show talking about me and my man are out in these streets, okay? That's not appreciated. That's not acceptable. That's just not how I would want to roll. So I get Irena's rah-rah energy. However, if someone is trying to give you information and you really want to hear the information, then you will listen enough for her to show you what she wants to show you, right? And then you can give her the smoke. That's just my perspective on that. I personally feel like Irena was scared of what was going to be exposed, and that's why she was avoiding it. That is the vibe that I get. She very much gives me passive energy, and I think that's what it is. She was like, bruh, she's probably thinking, I'm not about to have this conversation with Winter, so now it becomes public knowledge, whatever information she does have against me. So when she's like, okay, so what is this information? I love how Winter was like, yeah, read it. And then Irena was like, no, you read it. So I love how she brought out the phone with the messages and then was basically trying to show her, because at least you can see the messages did not come directly from Winter. It came from someone else. And so it would be interesting to see how things progress in the next episode. So far, I'll just say the episode was okay. I don't know, I wasn't really feeling the pink party. I wasn't really feeling like the whole episode was sort of a bit of a snooze fest, if I'm being honest. And also, did you notice that this season they're showing less of marriages and trying to push the drama thing? So we'll see. But anyways, that's it. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. If you still haven't subscribed to this channel, girl, what are you doing? Please subscribe and tap that bell so you know every single time that I post. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.